So with South Africa's COVID numbers soaring, President Ramaphosa is expected to address the nation at 8 p.m. sharp tonight. We'll bring you that live here on The Full View. The address follows yesterday's meeting of the National Coronavirus Command Council and special sessions today of the President's Coordinating Council as well as Cabinet. Yesterday, South Africa passed the 1 million mark in terms of COVID-19 infections. There are now 132,800 active cases, and there have been nearly 26,800 COVID-related deaths. There's speculation that new restrictions could be introduced. SABC News' political editor Mzwandile Mbeje joining me now from Cape Town. What has the presidency said? Obviously, we won't know the details until 8 o'clock, but what have they said thus far?
Well, a very good evening to you, Francis, and the viewers. It's quite interesting that during, or rather in the middle of a holiday season, when everyone is expected to rest, take it easy, we have this kind of an announcement. Interestingly, as you've indicated, this time around it's coming from Cape Town. So what has been happening lately, Francis, is that we've seen the second surge in the coronavirus infections rise so fast, and it is putting so much pressure on the health system, on the health of the people, on the health of the society in general. So obviously government and the president couldn't stand by and look when they saw that things are going out of hand. I mean, everyone was on leave, was relaxing, but given the severity of the situation, so the president has decided that it's about time that he addresses this nation. And clearly, Francis, you've indicated that everything has gone up. Just a quick example, perhaps, to our viewers to give this thing a context. You know, one of the addresses that the president gave, I think the last address before this one that he's going to give tonight, he basically gave a very stark warning, saying if we don't change our behavior, many of us will have their last Christmas. I've been looking at the numbers from yesterday, the day before yesterday, and Christmas. If you take all those numbers together, Francis, it's 752 South Africans who have died. That which the president warned us about has happened. And you must remember this evening, he is also going to be telling us in all certainly about some of those who may have passed on due to this virus. So as the president, as the head of state, as the commander-in-chief, so he needs to give further direction. He did say it is in our hands, but clearly it doesn't seem that many of us as South Africans are taking this seriously. We can expect today the announcement perhaps on the stricter levels of and some of the conditions being tightened a bit. I assume the issues around curfew may be reviewed, perhaps around alcohol. There may be issues around alcohol because our hospitals right now, as we speak, Francis, are overwhelmed. I mean, we've been speaking to a number of people. In many places, people simply can't find beds. Even those who die, they die simply because they can't get access to that much needed oxygen. So given that it's a holiday season, people are up and about, they are in big groups, I think the president will say something to that effect to try and arrest the spread. Otherwise, so this nation will be in deep, deep trouble, Francis.
And there's been so much speculation around alcohol because many medical experts, medical associations calling for something to be done there. But of course, all the choices here are difficult. You stop the sale of alcohol and restaurants say that they're going to close down. We saw that in the first wave. What about the other speculation? I mean, interprovincial travel was closed in the hard lockdown, but now you've got a whole lot of people who are in a different province because they're on holiday.
Yeah. Oh yes, yes. I think the president will really have to strike a very delicate balance here. I mean, he is effectively between the rock and the hard place. He needs to save livelihoods, at the same time he needs to save lives. So somehow you would have to do something. We're not going to like everything that he's going to say, but some sort of action needs to be taken. Perhaps it may not be the issue of interprovincial travel, as you've correctly said. Many people are not at their places. So perhaps if it happens, maybe he will give us a day or two so that other people can adjust. The issue of alcohol, you remember one of the things they had complained about was that there were unnecessary accidents or incidents or fights where people had to be taken to hospitals. I mean, people who didn't really need to go to hospitals. So taking the space of people who fall sick, who need that kind of treatment. So it is going to be very interesting, Francis, to listen to what exactly will be heard. Because we know, we understand that the kind of arguments that went on in those sessions, the medical fraternity, I think, has been very clear. They are basically saying, for us to be able to start to manage the situation, hard lockdown is the answer. But then you have another school of thought which says hard lockdown is also detrimental to the economy. It has been trying to recover. It's not recovered yet. So you strain again with another lockdown, which is hard. You're killing it further. Whilst you will save lives, so you will destroy livelihoods. By destroying livelihoods, lives again get lost. So it's a very interesting and a difficult choice that the president will have to make. But I think he has had engagements with a number of stakeholders. He probably will be able to come with an answer. We are not all going to be pleased with it, but somehow an answer that will give an indication that something must be done. Because I think as South Africans, we are honestly not doing enough, Francis.
Yeah, I think few people would want to be in the president's shoes tonight. Thank you very much, SABC News' political editor, Mzwandile Mbeje. And just a reminder, the president will be addressing the nation live at 8 o'clock tonight. We'll bring that address to you right here on The Full View on SABC News.